Locally owned, independent, and dedicated to delivering a quality home at an affordable price. Check our website. Better yet, come visit Oasis Homes at 1939 Gordon Highway, Augusta, Georgia.
It's hot outside and the deals inside Weinberger's Furniture are even hotter. It's time for Weinberger's Summer Savings.
Oh, you mean people want more top quality, famous brand furniture at sale prices too low to mention?
Exactly.
That's good news for all of Middle Georgia. Our floor samples are at great discounted prices.
Save now on bedroom, dining room, living room, home office, and patio furniture.
Don't miss these summer savings now at Weinberger's Furniture and Mattress Showcase.
The Live 5 for 6 Skyview Network, sponsored by Terry Lambert Hyundai.
We have a Viper 6 alert day in effect tonight and for our Friday as we have dangerous heat and also the chance of severe weather. I'll have all those details coming up.
Right now on News Channel 6 at 6, staying cool and healthy during this heat wave. Advice from a doctor.
Plus, why a massive street project in downtown Augusta has some folks concerned about the trees coming down.
There's also concern over renovations at a local park. Your News at 6 starts now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 6.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Brad Dean.
And I'm Jenny Montgomery. Thank you so much for joining us. Coverage you can count on begins with heat-related illnesses on the rise. Do you know ways to keep yourself from getting sick? Graham Lee spoke to a doctor today about 2 key illnesses that are very common this time of year. He's live now at Doctor's Hospital.
Yeah, that's right. And heat stroke and heat exhaustion are 2 illnesses that are seen this time of year. They are different diseases, but as a doctor I spoke to earlier tells me, they can both be treated the same way.
As temperatures continue to rise in the CSRA, so are the number of people coming to the hospital for 2 major heat-related illnesses.
I don't see nearly all the patients that come in here, but I know there's been an uptick in the intake of patients with heat exhaustion and heat stroke recently.
Both increase our body's internal temperature to dangerous levels, but there are differences.
Heat exhaustion is generally where your temperature is between 101 and 103. You may have excessive sweating, some nausea, you may have vomiting. Your heart rate may be a little bit elevated. Heat stroke is a measure beyond heat exhaustion, and usually that's between about 103, 104 degrees Fahrenheit and above. And basically you add in a mental component, which is confusion. You might be combative, and just not, you might pass out.
And he says no matter the age, anyone who spends time outside can become a victim.
So this can happen from infants to the elderly, everybody in between. And you think it might not happen to you, but that's exactly when it might happen.
So now the question, of course, is how are you able to treat these 2 diseases? And the doctor that I spoke to, Dr. Pettiford, tells me that the best ways to treat it there's a few ways actually. There's wearing sunscreen, of course, drinking cooler fluids, and on top of that, take breaks if you are in the heat. There's a lot of workers this time of year that work outside, so take breaks when necessary. And he also suggests surrounding your schedule around the hottest parts of the day, and if you are outside, try to get inside and get in that air conditioning to stay nice and cool. For now, live in Augusta, Graham Lee, WJBF, News Channel 6. Brad, Jenny?
These hot temperatures and sunny days mean the risk of skin cancer could increase. And there's new research that shows some people are more susceptible to the disease. Here's Bria Smith.
According to the Journal of Academy of Dermatology, while black males in the U.S. face a low rate of melanoma, if they do get it, they also face a low rate of survival. Dr. Charlotte Hand is a physician at Dermatology and Skin Cancer Center of Augusta and says you want to make sure you're looking out for the obvious signs. Often with African American men, melanoma is caught in later stages, making treatment more difficult.
But when it's caught early, essentially after the biopsy, you of course go home with just a bandage. We call you back with the results. And if it's not too deep, You just come in one day, I do a 10-minute procedure where I remove the cancer, send you home with stitches for a couple of weeks, and then that's it. You know, of course, if it's more progressed, then it's a little bit more long drawn out.
Doctors just want patients to be aware of the signs and to know what resources are available to you. In Augusta, Bria Smith, WJBF, News Channel 6.
It is time now for a first check of our weather.
Here's meteorologist Jenna Petracci.
Well, it's certainly been a hot day, and that's one of the reasons we have a Viper 6 alert day in effect for the dangerous heat and also the chance of some strong to severe storms. Right now on Live Viper 6, not too bad. Only some isolated storms from Wilkes County down to Clarks Hill Lake and also in Bamberg County. But notice just outside of our viewing area, we have some severe weather. So here's a closer look, though, just outside of Clarks Hill Lake around the Modoc area, Parksville. Some heavy rain and lightning up in Wilkes County around Jackson's Crossroads, just to the north of Washington, also seeing some rain. And to the north of that, that's where we have the gusty winds. These are 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, also some hail within these cells here, a lot of flashing yellow polygons here. And this is moving off towards the southeast and could be impacting Wilkes County within the next hour or so. So then we have a trough across the CSRA, and that's what's causing this complex of thunderstorms to form, and all the heat and moisture around causes it to strengthen. That's why we have the chance of severe weather for both today and tomorrow. So we'll be watching that over the next couple of hours. Wilkes County under a severe thunderstorm watch, once again for that chance of hail and damaging winds. We also have this heat advisory ongoing for Wilkes down to Emmanuel County. This will end at 8 p.m. tonight. So right around the time the heat advisory ends, that's when we'll have the chance of severe weather. Our temperatures right now are in the low to mid 90s. Augusta at 93, Aiken also at 93, 96 in Wrightsville, 94 in Sparta, and Waynesboro at 95. But all of us feeling like 100 degrees or hotter, feeling like 102 in Augusta, 106 in Louisville, and 107 in Bamberg. The winds are coming in from the southwest, bringing us plenty of moisture, and it is pretty breezy right now. 8 miles per hour in Augusta, 13 in Aiken, along with the wildfire smoke still bringing a hazy sky along with some cloud cover. For the rest of our evening, we'll have the chance of storms, temperatures staying in the low 90s, upper 80s by 8 p.m. Viper 6 alert day continues for Friday for the dangerous heat and chance of severe weather. All those details coming up. Back to you.
All right, Jenna, thank you so much. The start of Augusta's massive downtown streetscape project has some crying foul. It's because dozens and dozens of trees are in the way of the road work. Senior reporter George Escala has the story.
Nicole's Novak walk in Old Town is not as shady as before.
We are kind of mourning the trees a little bit, the loss of them, but it's a mixed bag. We're waiting for the good stuff.
Crews cutting down what will be dozens of trees to make way for the massive street renovation project downtown. But not everyone is applauding the progress.
I don't know of any other city that is set about to destroy the aesthetics of the city. I mean, Augusta has been known as for 150 or more years as the Garden City, and they're about to make us an asphalt city.
Tree Commission Chairman Simpkins says he's sickened by what he's seeing, but the city says the trees are not being cut for no reason.
So every tree that's slated for removal is being done for a purpose. Whether it's some sort of future construction, we're going to put in curb and gutter, redo the road, or handicap ramps. There's some reason why it needs to come out.
Osprey points out many trees are near the end of their normal lifespan, and that new trees will be planted for the ones being removed. But Simpkins says this is not the way this should be done.
Watch your beautiful garden in your backyard being destroyed by an engineer because of some whim of an engineer drawing. That is so sad. I mean, you can't name another city who is doing this kind of thing in this city.
New streetscapes means progress for downtown, but some don't like the price being paid. In Augusta, George Escala, WJBF, News Channel 6.
Well, here we are 1 year after the city of Aiken received a grant for renovations at the Smith Hazel Recreation Center, and some say the renovations fell short of expectations. Back in 2022, all the doors and entrances and restrooms at Smith Hazel were renovated. The goal to make them accessible to everybody. But some are concerned about the condition of the gym floor there. Staff walked the floor with a civil engineer, and they reported no hazards.
But we do have flooring contractors scheduled to come later in the month to look at the floor to see if there's a solution for those hollow sounding spots that I think the public have identified.
So what happens from here? Well, city leaders say they won't know if repairs or replacements are needed until this fall.
When we come back, a new solar farm is coming to Burke County.
A lot of people excited about that to save energy and bring jobs to the area. Stay with us. Augusta High School, and if the building at Highland Springs isn't ready, they'll just go virtual until it is.
Well, we have a Viper 6 alert day today. I'm tracking some strong to severe storms headed our way. In the bottom right corner of your screen, that's where Wilkes County is. We just have a weak storm, but notice just outside our viewing area, some severe thunderstorm warning. So that's what we're watching now, and I'll have all the details when we return.
This is a WJBF Live Viper 6 alert.
We have a Viper 6 alert day for tonight and for Friday as we track some strong to severe storms and also dealing with the dangerous heat. Here's the latest on Live Viper 6. Notice only a few isolated cells here, none of them severe, just bringing a little bit of lightning and some brief heavy rain. But we are seeing some very strong storms enter the Athens area just outside our viewing area. So that's what we're watching for the potential impacts from anywhere from Wilkes County down to Hancock County within the next hour or so. But right now in Edgefield County, right outside of Antioch, that's where we have some light to moderate rainfall. And up in Wilkes County to the north of Washington over at Tignal, some brief heavy rain. But the severe thunderstorm warning is for Oglethorpe, Georgia, right around the Athens area. As I mentioned, we have some very gusty winds, a lot of lightning, over 1,000 strikes within the last 15 minutes, along with heavy rain and also some hail within these storms as well. So this is because of a trough that created this complex of thunderstorms, and this will continue to push down towards the southeast and will impact our area, as I mentioned, within the next hour or so. So notice the severe thunderstorm watch for Wilkes County. That goes until 10 p.m. tonight. And we also are still under a heat advisory that goes until 8 p.m. this evening. Also for Wilkes County, extending through Jefferson and Emmanuel. That's for the heat index up to 108 degrees. And that's exactly what we saw today. Not just for those western counties, but all of us well into the triple digits. Starting to drop down to that 100-degree mark. That's what we're seeing in Washington and Crawfordville. Still 102 in Augusta and Aiken, feeling like 106 in Waynesboro and 107 in Bamberg. Our actual temperatures mostly in the low 90s, but 97 down in Swainsboro, Augusta and Aiken sitting at 93, 94 in Bamberg. Very hazy as well, along with the mix of clouds out there. Our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam not showing any rain though at this time in Augusta. West-southwest wind of 8 miles per hour. Dew point of 73, and that haze limiting our visibility down to 9 miles. Now, I do have some good news. Once we get through tomorrow, that'll be our last day of the dangerous heat. 106 as our feels like temperature, but back into the 90s as we go into the weekend, and our highs will also be dropping as well. 90 for your Saturday, 92 on Sunday, with more scattered storms on Saturday. We'll have the chance of storms around 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, then drying out in the late morning and early afternoon, and then the chance of storms return in the evening. But here's a look at tonight, 7 o'clock. That line will be starting to approach us. I do think this is a little bit behind. By 8 o'clock, definitely seeing some of those rain and thunderstorms, and definitely the chance of damaging winds and hail as this pushes through Augusta. It will weaken at that point, and then just some weak thunderstorms into the overnight hours until around 6 in the morning. And then let's pick this back up at 5 o'clock Friday evening. More so isolated cells that could contain those damaging winds and hail. So not as much so a big gusty line coming in, but definitely still the chance of some hail and damaging winds. Slight risk for the rest of tonight, and a slight risk for part of our area tomorrow, and then a marginal risk of severe weather for our Saturday. So stay weather alert over the next few days. Once again, that Viper 6 alert day is for Friday. Due to the dangerous heat and the storms, rain chances decrease to 20% starting on Sunday, and next week does not look nearly as hot. Congratulations to today's umbrella winner. That's Jan Black from Martinez, Georgia. You have won a Viper 6 umbrella.
All right, Jen, appreciate it.
Coming up, a Georgia Tech golfer is leading the Open Championship.
Unbelievable. And Shane Beamer and the South Carolina Gamecocks taking their turn at SEC Media Days in sports. to University student Vikash Ayapan authoring children's books, Dr. Doodle's Big Health Quest.
Yeah, the series focuses on topics relevant in today's world like mental health and nutrition. Profits go toward CHOG. You can find it on Amazon and Kindle.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
We'll see you again at 11. Have a great night.
Newscast.
I am tracking some very strong storms now, and we have a severe thunderstorm warning that has just been issued for Wilkes, Tolliver, Warren, and Hancock counties for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, nickel-size hail, and of course a lot of rain and lightning. Viper 6 alert day tonight and tomorrow. Details coming up.
Right now on News Channel 6 and 7, heat advisories around the CSRA will tell you how to stay safe in the hot temperatures. Plus, a new solar farm being built in Burke County, but it's not only conserving energy, it's providing jobs. And renovations added Avon Park, why some say the changes don't meet expectations. As your News at 7 starts now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 7.
Good evening, everyone. You're watching News Channel 6 at 7. I'm Dee Griffin. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll have our top stories in a moment, but first, we want to turn over to meteorologist Jenna Petracci, who is tracking some severe storms moving into the area. Jenna.
Bad evening. We've only had a few isolated storms, but that's quickly about to change. Notice on Live Viper 6, we have a very large yellow polygon flashing. That is a severe thunderstorm warning that was just issued for Wilkes, Tolliver, Hancock, and portions of Warren County. This goes until 7:45 p.m. You can see the gusty line that's about to move in. This is moving at 50 miles per hour, so it will be around Wilkes County within the next 20 minutes or so. And in addition to the gusty winds and nickel-sized hail, we're also dealing with a lot of lightning and of course heavy rain that could lead to some isolated flooding concerns. There's a closer look now right across the Athens area, and in northwest Georgia today we've had several reports of trees falling down, a lot of wind damage from these storms, and they are not weakening anytime soon. In Augusta and other parts of the CSRA even expected to get some of the rain and thunderstorms tonight. But so far, it's those northwest counties that are under the threat for now. But we do have a severe thunderstorm watch that was originally just for Wilkes County. That has now been extended throughout the entire CSRA, going until 1 o'clock in the morning for the large hail and possible damaging winds. We also have the heat advisory that goes for another hour for Wilkes County down to Emmanuel. Heat index up to 108, but we are starting to see that heat index drop more so around the 100-degree mark. However, Louisville still at 108, feeling like 99 now in Aiken. And of course, these temperatures will drop very quickly once the rain moves through. Actual temperatures anywhere from 89 to 91 degrees across the metro and Aiken County. Dew points in the mid-70s, and it's very windy outside as well. Our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam showing the haze. That's what we've been dealing with, in addition to some cloud cover over the next couple of hours. Temperatures in the mid-80s, cooler in spots with rain, and the chance of storms through 11 o'clock. Viper 6 alert day continues for Friday as well, with more dangerous heat and possible severe weather. Details coming up, but back to you, Dee.
All right, thanks so much, Jenna. We'll see you in a few minutes. Hot temperatures and sunny days mean skin cancer. All right, thanks so much, Jenna. We'll see you in a few minutes. Hot temperatures and sunny days mean skin cancer risks could increase. And there's new research that shows certain people are more susceptible to skin cancer. Bria Smith explains.
According to the Journal of Academy of Dermatology, while black males in the U.S. face a low rate of melanoma, if they do get it, they also face a low rate of survival.
Melanoma can be associated with UV rays, but a lot of types of melanoma, especially in the darker population, can be due to genetics, family history, or other things that we maybe don't know about yet.
Dr. Charlotte Hand is a physician at Dermatology and Skin Cancer Center of Augusta and says you want to make sure you're looking out for the obvious signs.
Anything that's changing, things that are changing in shape, size, color, things especially that are bleeding, anything that's painful, or really anything that's new and concerning.
Often with African American men, melanoma is caught in later stages, making treatment more difficult.
But when it's caught early, Essentially, after the biopsy, you of course go home with just a bandage. We call you back with the results. And if it's not too deep, you just come in one day. I do a 10-minute procedure where I remove the cancer, send you home with stitches for.
Thank you for making World News Tonight with David Muir, America's most watched newscast.
I am tracking some very strong storms now, and we have a
News Tonight with David Muir, America's most watched newscast.
I am tracking some very strong storms now, and we have a severe thunderstorm warning that has just been issued for Wilkes, Tolliver, Warren, and Hancock counties for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, nickel-size hail, and of course a lot of rain and lightning. Viper 6 alert day tonight and tomorrow. Details coming up.
Right now on News Channel 6 and 7, heat advisories around the CSRA will tell you how to stay safe in the hot temperatures. Plus, a new solar farm being built in Burke County, but it's not only conserving energy, it's providing jobs. And renovations at Avon Park, why some say the changes don't meet expectations. As your News at 7 starts now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 7.
Good evening, everyone. You're watching News Channel 6 at 7. I'm Dee Griffin. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll have our top stories in a moment, but first, we want to turn over to meteorologist Jenna Petracci, who is tracking some severe storms moving into the area. Jenna.
Bad evening. We've only had a few isolated storms, but that's quickly about to change. Notice on Live Viper 6, we have a very large yellow polygon flashing. That is a severe thunderstorm warning that was just issued for Wilkes, Tolliver, Hancock, and portions of Warren County. This goes until 7:45 p.m. You can see the gusty line that's about to move in. This is moving at 50 miles per hour, so it will be around Wilkes County within the next 20 minutes or so. And in addition to the gusty winds and nickel-sized hail, we're also dealing with a lot of lightning and of course heavy rain that could lead to some isolated flooding concerns. There's a closer look now right across the Athens area, and in northwest Georgia today we've had several reports of trees falling down, a lot of wind damage from these storms, and they are not weakening anytime soon. In Augusta and other parts of the CSRA even expected to get some of the rain and thunderstorms tonight. But so far, it's those northwest counties that are under the threat for now. But we do have a severe thunderstorm watch that was originally just for Wilkes County. That has now been extended throughout the entire CSRA, going until 1 o'clock in the morning for the large hail and possible damaging winds. We also have the heat advisory that goes for another hour for Wilkes County down to Emmanuel. Heat index up to 108, but we are starting to see that heat index drop more so around the 100-degree mark. However, Louisville still at 108, feeling like 99 now in Aiken. And of course, these temperatures will drop very quickly once the rain moves through. Actual temperatures anywhere from 89 to 91 degrees across the metro and Aiken County. Dew points in the mid-70s, and it's very windy outside as well. Our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam showing the haze. That's what we've been dealing with, in addition to some cloud cover over the next couple of hours. Temperatures in the mid-80s, cooler in spots with rain, and the chance of storms through 11 o'clock. Viper 6 alert day continues for Friday as well, with more dangerous heat and possible severe weather. Details coming up, but back to you, Dee.
All right, thanks so much, Jenna. We'll see you in a few minutes. Hot temperatures and sunny days mean skin cancer risks could increase, and there's new research that shows certain people are more susceptible to skin cancer. Bria Smith explains.
According to the Journal of Academy of Dermatology, while black males in the U.S. face a low rate of melanoma, if they do get it, they also face a low rate of survival.
Melanoma can be associated with UV rays, but a lot of types of melanoma, especially in the darker population, can be due to genetics, family history, or other things that we maybe don't know about yet.
Dr. Charlotte Hand is a physician at Dermatology and Skin Cancer Center of Augusta and says you want to make sure you're looking out for the obvious signs.
Anything that's changing, things that are changing in shape, size, color, things especially that are bleeding, anything that's painful, or really anything that's new and concerning.
Often with African American men, melanoma is caught in later stages, making treatment more difficult.
But when it's caught early, essentially after the biopsy, you of course go home with just a bandage. We call you back with the results. And if it's not too deep, you just come in one day. I do a 10-minute procedure where I remove the cancer, send you home with stitches for a couple of weeks, and then that's it. You know, of course, if it's more progressed, then it's a little bit more long drawn out.
And if you're someone who does catch the disease at a later time, Dr. Hand tells me there's another step.
If there is melanoma in the lymph node, then they go on and they'll do chemo, things like that. That's what I'm here for, to check any worrisome spots and to give you that peace of mind.
Doctors just want patients to be aware of the signs and to know what resources are available to you. In Augusta, Bria Smith, WJBF, News Channel 6.
Heat-related illnesses are on the rise, so what can you do to keep yourself safe? Doctors say heat exhaustion is when your body loses an excessive amount of water and salts, and the internal body temperatures between 101 and 103. Wear sunscreen and drink plenty of cool fluids. Amazon announcing 3 new solar farms in Georgia. One of the farms will be in Burke County. Tiffany Hobbs tells us what this means for our area.
Amazon's newest solar projects will open in Wheeler, Oglethorpe, and Burke counties, bringing them a new local resource for clean energy. Amazon currently has 30 renewable energy projects across the Southeast. The company tells us the new solar farm will also bring economic development and green job skills to Burke County. Waynesboro City Councilman and blueberry farmer Dick Vine says he believes this will be good for the economy.
We have so much energy, solar energy, that we're not using. It's just being, it just comes to earth, and we're not using it. And I think we ought to use anything we get our hands on. It's free. I mean, it's not stupid. It's no pollution. I don't think you don't have to be an environmentalist to see that it's no pollution, and that helps. So I just see big opportunities for solar power.
Amazon tells us that once all 8 projects are running in Georgia, it will bring enough energy to power more than 123,000 homes per year. In Burke County, I'm Tiffany Hobbs, WJBF, News Channel 6.
A year after the city of Aiken received a grant for renovations at the Smith Hazel Recreation Center, residents say the renovations fell short of expectations. Sean Cabbage-Stock spoke with
National Security Council spokesperson John Kirby said the federal government has to strike a balance between transparency and national security.
We're not saying what they are or what they're not. We're saying that there's something our pilots are seeing. We're saying it has had an effect on some of our training operations, and so we want to get to the bottom of it.
And lawmakers plan to hold that hearing next Wednesday. In Washington, I'm Jesse Schnorr.
Active shooter training is underway in McDuffie County. Emergency personnel held the drill at a school in Thompson, so if you hear any loud noises like gunfire and you see some extra police presence, don't be alarmed. The training started earlier today and continues for 8 hours. Still ahead, we'll have more information about the disappearance of Carly Russell. You remember she claimed to have disappeared in Hoover, Alabama. We'll have more. Stay with us.
Let me tell you what.
All night.
This is a WJBF Live Viper 6 alert.
We have a lot going on this evening. Here's the latest on Live Viper 6. It's been mostly dry so far tonight, but that is changing now very quickly as we have a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings in effect. Right now, you're seeing the one for Wilkes, Crawfordville area, Hancock County, Warren County. That is for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and nickel-size hail. We also have another severe thunderstorm warning that was just issued a few moments ago. This is for McCormick, Lincoln, and McDuffie County until 8:15 tonight, and this is for 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts and penny-size hail. Those 70-mile-per-hour winds could definitely knock a lot of trees down and cause some damage to homes as well, roof damage, siding damage, so definitely something to take very seriously. So several counties in the CSRA under severe thunderstorm warnings. Once again, for the one for Wilkes, Tolliver, Hancock, and Warren County goes until 7:45, and the other one goes until 8:15. So this line is definitely going to pack a punch across our northern and western counties. Here's a look at some of the times it will be approaching. So at 7:21 p.m., it'll be around the Tignal area, 7:31 p.m. around Crawfordville, Thompson, just before 8 o'clock tonight, and then it will continue to make its way way towards the southeast, eventually making its way towards the metro in Aiken County. At that point, I do expect it to weaken a little bit. However, it is possible we could have more severe thunderstorm warnings issued across the metro and as far south as, say, Burke County. And then at that point, it should be weakening much more, with more so just some light to heavy rainfall for tonight. However, there is a severe thunderstorm watch for the entire CSRA that goes all the way until 1 o'clock this morning. So definitely going to be an active night over the next few hours. We also have a heat advisory that goes until 8 o'clock tonight. That's for the heat index up to 108 degrees. It was a very hot day. We're starting to see some places drop to around that 100-degree mark, but still most of us into the triple digits, feeling like 108 in Louisville. And of course, it will start to cool down as soon as we see that rain, which will be very shortly. Right now, temperatures are in the low to mid-90s, 91 in Augusta. Our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam outside the station, not showing any rain here. Very hazy skies, though. Winds are light as well, but those winds will be increasing as that line pushes through, of course. Tomorrow, we have another Viper 6 alert day for more dangerous heat, 106 as the feels like temperature. Then over the weekend, finally, some relief. It'll be feeling more so like the mid to upper 90s, so really not as bad. By 6 o'clock in the morning, we'll still see some isolated storms around 74 degrees, mid-90s by the late afternoon. We'll spend the late morning and early afternoon dry, and then by 5 o'clock is when we'll start to see more storms develop. Here's our future cast tonight at 8 o'clock, so within the next 40 minutes or so. I do think this is definitely behind, but pretty much all of our northwestern counties dealing with the rain and storms. By 9 o'clock, this will make its way towards Augusta and Aiken, and this is what I was talking about when I said it. After it pushes through Augusta and Aiken, I do think it will mostly just be some light rain. However, around 1 o'clock in the morning, more isolated storms expected to develop. Severe threat will be lower at this point, but there is still the chance we could see some hail and damaging winds within these cells as well, and that continues until 6 o'clock in the morning. Let's pick this up at 5 o'clock Friday evening. More isolated storms developing. Doesn't look as much so like one big line moving in, but still that chance of severe weather in any of those storms that develop. We'll have plenty of heat and moisture around, and that really fuels these storms and causes them to strengthen very quickly. So for tonight, slight risk of severe weather for pretty much everyone. That's level 2 out of 5 on our scale. Slight risk for parts of Richmond County towards the south for tomorrow, and then a marginal risk on Saturday. So the severe weather threat continues into the weekend. Lows tonight in the mid-70s, highs tomorrow in the mid-90s, another humid day. Then over the weekend, we are going to get a little bit of heat relief. Notice our temperatures drop into the low 90s, and next week will be more so around average with only 20% chances of rain each day.
To quality customer service.
A Columbia County teenager once considered a runaway is now facing kidnapping charges. 16-year-old Harmony Robinson has been missing for a week now. Her grandmother told deputies that she ran away after refusing to do chores. Investigators now say she has her 20-month-old son, who is considered a ward of the state. They believe she may be somewhere in Aiken County. If you know where she is, if you've seen her, call the Columbia County Sheriff's Office. Now to new questions about the 2-day disappearance of an Alabama woman who said she was abducted while trying to keep a toddler on the highway safe. Police now say there is no evidence to back up her claims. Janae Norman has more.
The shocking new details this morning laid out by Hoover Police and their investigation into Carly Russell's mysterious disappearance and return, including questionable Google searches made before her alleged abduction.
The term you have to pay for an Amber Alert was searched. A search for a one-way bus ticket from Birmingham to Nashville. A search for the movie Taken.
Authorities citing immense public pressure for more answers about what may have happened when the 25-year-old disappeared last Thursday, unable to corroborate any of her story.
We've been unable to verify most of Carly's initial statement made to investigators, and we have no reason to believe that there is a threat to the public safety.
Her disappearance sparked national intrigue after she called 911 to report seeing a toddler walking alone on the side of the interstate.
I think it's a boy, a little boy.
Right now? Okay. Is he wearing clothes?
Yes.
Okay. What is he wearing?
It's a white t-shirt, and it doesn't look like he has any pants on. It looks like a diaper.
She stated when she got out of her vehicle to check on the child, a man came out of the trees. She claimed that the man then picked her up, and she screamed.
Police say Russell told investigators a man first forced her into multiple vehicles, telling detectives detectives there was also a woman involved who she never saw, only heard. Russell allegedly telling police the couple blindfolded her, made her undress, and possibly took photos of her, but that she did not remember them having any sexual contact.
At some point, she was put back in a vehicle she claims was able to escape. She told detectives she ran through lots of woods until she came out near her residence.
People call us all the time.
Once again, we have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for McCormick, Lincoln, and McDuffie counties until 8:15 p.m. 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts and penny-sized hail. That'll cause significant damage to trees and could impact homes as well. So definitely take shelter, especially if you're by Clarks Hill Lake. Any mobile homes definitely could see some damage with this. Also, a severe thunderstorm warning until 7:45 for Wilkes, Tolliver, Hancock, and Warren counties.
Be careful out there. We know you have us covered. Stay tuned for more. We'll see you later.